Hello everyone, welcome back to Prince and Nikki's channel. Thank you to all of you who have joined us today. We know it's been a few weeks that we haven't posted anything. It's been busy with the projects, so we try to get on as best we can to make videos, but yeah, time just flies as usual. So I've learned not to make promises.
I think we've been very busy. That's why we've not been posting regularly. But yeah, as a summer months, I mean, we try to go back to our usual once a week.
So today we're going to bring you a new project, Project Berstep. This is the 3D image on your screen. This wasn't originally the image and design that we had when the client came to us. They did have a design done with someone else previously, but they felt like they needed something a bit more wow factor. So they came to us to ask us to redesign. As with all of our projects, we work alongside Anafi and Associates. It's a very popular architect in Ghana, and he does some fantastic designs on a lot of different areas.
Yeah, I think it's comment below if you want to see the original design that was brought to us and how that has changed to this fantastic uh, design. We'll be able to show you in the next video.
So originally this building started as a 3 bedroom. As the design has gone on, it is currently now a 4 bedroom design. With this project, I like to see it as a active building.
It is, and also it's a building, just like right here, which has it's been growing.
Yeah, it's definitely growing, but also I think it offers a lot for the plots and the size of the home. They're really getting a good use there. They're having living spaces, but they also have active and creative spaces as well.
Yeah, it's effectively designed to suit the clients, their needs, their daily activities, how they live their life. So yeah, it's a fantastic design. In terms of the size, this house, the gross internal area is 796 square meters. That's approximately about 6,000 square foot. If you're looking at the actual external area of the house, what we call gross external area, the footprint of the house is about 779 square meters, and that's about 8,365 square foot. So it's quite a sizable house on its own.
Yeah, so as you just saw on the aerial footage there, that was the stages when we was in Ghana back in April.
Yeah.
We did site clearance, and that's when we started working on the substructure. For those of you who have watched us, we did do an episode, it feels like about 2 years ago now. It seems like a long while ago, where we went through all the different building stages and what those entails. So I can try and link that onto the comments for you so that you can watch that if you're interested. There I am on the screen there with Mike. So this was when we was kind of just doing the substructure. So the substructure comprises of the site clearance, the digging, the footings, the block work, the filling, and all those kind of things. So this is the stage that we're currently in. What you'll see here on the screen. So what they do, once they've cleared the site, as we've said previously, they then transfer the design onto the land. So every part of your design will have different grid lines, and those wood that you see there is where they put the wood and then they mark the different grid lines and transfer the plan onto the ground. So as I was saying, this project is a now 4 bedroom house. This one is in Grace City, Amanfrom. So you might have seen on the images, it may feel familiar to you, the land and the structures that are around. This is where our other projects that we've shown on the channel so far. We have Project PSO3 and Project Cuffy, which is on this particular land in particular area.
Yeah, I think it's what we have learned in this phase three is that the 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 land in terms of the soil is different in terms of around where we work in Project Coffee and PSO3. When you come to the bottom of the land, the soil here is a bit loamy, so the whole foundation here have to be re-engineered. That was me in a foundation just to see how deep it was at the time we were there, but the whole foundation has to be re-engineered because the soil condition here is completely different from what we had on PSO3 and Project Coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on the image here, this is the local area and this is all phase 3. You'll see some of the buildings that have gone up and you see some fence walls. And as Prince said, not only is the condition different, there you'll see the Project Coffee there. It slopes from the high side right down to the bottom. So the although your design might be based on a flat land, you really have to rejig that and make sure that it works for the particular plot that you're building on.
Yeah, I think we talk about this all the time. That's one of the challenges we face, isn't it? As contractors, where we go, the drawings assume the line is flat, and when you go, you take the levels, you find out that there is 4 to 5 feet difference on where the building needs to be. So you have to now to re-engineer the foundations to make sure you can deliver the dream.
I mean, I guess that was one of the things I was lucky for, is where we was redesigning this, we could consider that into it. On this particular project, as I was saying, we've gone from a 3 to 4 bedroom, but we've also made the footings of the
The
project
yeah,
wider.
yeah. Effectively, the columns are re-engineered, and then here we are on the first day of casting the blending. That is the base for the mat, which is gonna take the weight of the columns. So this is what we're doing here. In this case, the mat, we have cast this mat more than the required. I think we cast this about 4 inches thick, because as I said, the ground condition is slightly different. So uh, that's how we did the column. So after those are done, then the columns mat we put on in, each column will get set, and then we're ready to cast a whole of the footing now, what was going to hold the block work. Yeah, at this stage, a lot of resources and logistical planning is also required in terms of making a makeshift ramp. As you can see, you need access to where the individual column bases are. And so you need balls. And if you don't allow for all this, then you're going to struggle logistically to do your work effectively. So as I said, all these bases have been casted, engineered, so that the building, the foundation is sound.
For those of you who are building, one thing I always say on all of the videos that we've been posting on the channel is it's always important to make sure that if you're not on the ground, whether you have a contractor like ourselves or not, that it's always good to make sure that you're having the videos and making sure that you can review the videos of your project. It not only connects you to your building project, but it also helps you to try and pick up on any changes that you might want, or just general feel of the building. And that's what we tend to do, is have the videos and share them with clients, and necessarily make any changes that needs to be made. It's always good to make the changes when you think about it and as early on as possible, to save any corrections and problems later which may have cost implications. So here you can see the columns have been set, and we thought we were ready to move on now.
Yes, indeed, we thought we were done with the digging, but as we will show you later in the video, we had to go back digging foundation when Amphi and Associate got involved in remodeling the design. To me, lessons learned during this remodeling stage is that it's good to have the 2D drawings, but if you can have the internal 3D also done to tell you how the spaces connect to each other, it will give you a better understanding of the whole design, because most of the people will just give you the outside 3D, but have you see a video walkthrough to understand how the video places interact, the volume of space and all those things. So it's quite important to make sure all those things are included in your design package. Or if not, you can go to other freelance website to have that design 3D for you to have a better understanding before the work start, to minimize changes during the construction, particularly with the foundation. one of the challenges we faced during this foundation is the rain. So because it's a rainy season, there was a race against time to make sure at least we cast all the footing before the rain starts. One of the most important things also you need to focus is the material selection for your works. So we ensure that every material that is delivered to us meets the specification. So in this case, the materials that was delivered to us in terms of the sand, we found out there was too much clay content. So uh, Mike phoned me and we discussed. We said yes, we have to upgrade to river sand all the way from Accra. Yeah, these are not cheap. They are 6,500 a trip, but these are not additional costs. You can just go and tell the client and say, "Oh, because the sound in the area, the tip I delivered is not good, so I'm gonna charge you more." So I think it's people say, "I don't want a contractor," but there's a pros and cons of having a contractor, or you do your own DIY self build, whereby uh, the masons don't take any responsibility. Something go wrong, they just put their hand in the air and they'll tell you, "Oh, that is a take it that way." But if you go for a pure contracting, I think it's in terms of the risk allocation, I think it's better because you you are not in charge of in terms of daily issues like it rains today, the guys go to site, it don't work, you still got to pay them. Uh,
I
and make sure
think there's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot of truths around contracting. That's one of the things I've learned, that we we've seen that people think, oh, contractor, you're going to be expensive, but actually, when you put it on balance for the quality that you're getting out, the knowledge and the team that you get, the whole team, like the amount of
uh,
errors and issues that come up on the ground, that you've got an architect, you've got a structural engineer, you've got a quantity surveyor, you've got people coming to site, and you can't buy that. And I think that's the difference, isn't it? So
I
it's a
guess
challenge, isn't it?
contracting is definitely gonna be more expensive than if you're doing it yourself because you got people there, you got a site manager, you got a project manager, and the company got overheads and stuff. So definitely, it's not gonna be the same as if you send two blocks to site to go and lay blocks for you.
Yeah, but I think if you're thinking about longevity, if you're using a savings fund, a retirement fund, you're selling your home to build, I think you've got to think about longevity and what you're getting out of it in terms of the property, what you're building. So I think it's a balance, but when you think about it, just make sure that if you're going to start at the beginning of designing, just make sure that you get a sound design that has structural and architectural, so that you have a good full pack to be able to start with.
Yeah, so at this stage, I can see the block were near finished now. So we thought until there was changes. So the camera is just there doing the formwork for the columns. And once all this are done, then we apply bitumen. As I said, we use Sika products. Sika Eagle Salt, Sika Coal is the bitumen waterproofing, and we applied it to all the internal face of the external wall. As you can see over there, it's all being applied. The reason why we don't apply to the internal walls is that all those internal walls will be covered with DPM and or tape, as you see at the end of this video. So there is no need to be applying into the internal dividing walls. And then if we come to the outside walls, where we come to plastering, we apply Sika latest, which is higher specification than the bitumen in terms of waterproofing, and before the plastering is done. So that gives you a kind of protection against any uh, rising damp issues.
If you do want to know more about the damp proofing or the Sika latex products, we did do a video some time ago when we did the plastering on our own project, and we have got damp proofing videos on the channel. So head over to our channel and click on the playlist button, and you will be able to see the DPM videos and the plastering. In those videos, we show you the products and explain how they work, and did some testing on them to demonstrate the how it works. So head over and have a look on those.
Yeah, one of the things also we do quite differently is about our comparting. We don't rely on the rain or pouring water several weeks on the foundation before continuing. So what we do comparting in stages. So as you can see, the guys are doing the first stage of comparting now. One that is done and everything is good, approved, and then we refill and do another comparting before the sand blending is done. So to us, when you do this, you make sure that your your laterite is properly compacted instead of leaving it filling it fully, which could be up to 2 or 3 feet or 5 feet in some cases, depends on the depth of the foundation. Then you continue to pour water on it.
Yeah, it's almost like you get air pockets,
Yeah,
isn't it,
you'll
and
get
stuff.
air pockets in it. So we always do this at least twice, depending on the depth of the foundation. So this is the second stage now when everything is done, and you can see on the right hand side the guys just began to do the blending because you always have to blend your latrite about between 25 to 75 mil of fine sand. Otherwise, if you just do the latrite and you lay the DPM on top of the latrite, the stones in the latrite will pierce the DPM. So it's always advisable that laterite you do some blending before you lay your DPM.
So once you've done all the sand blending and everything, then you need to make sure that you find a high quality damp proof membrane, as Bryn said, DPM. What the DPM does is you lay that across all of the filling that you've done. The DPM, you need to overlap it by so many, and then you tape the joints. That stops any of the cold that's in the ground rising up.
Yeah, because you always got the ground is always cold, so to prevent that water ingress, you need to tape the joints with a special DPM tape. All this we sell all this in case you need any of them, but there is no point spending the money. We get people who come and buy DPM and say buy the tape. They say no, I don't want the tape. But if you want it to be 100% effective, you need to use a tape. So you can see on the screen, and this is additional column actually we have to put in based on the redesign by Amphi.
And these are the important parts that when one of the things I've seen is if you're building and you're going along and you do make changes, like for instance this one, you need to look at the change and the whole building structure, because the change in the weight and the support will change. So it needs to be calculated by a proper structural engineer to make sure that it's sound. I couldn't sleep by not making sure that clients' houses are being done properly. So this one, we that particular one, the column, we dug down and made sure
It's the same.
it's redone.
Yeah, the same depth as every other column because that is what the engineer insisted on. So yeah, all that once all that is done, I think it's backfill, compacted, then we were ready for the DPM. Then
Good to go.
yes. So as you can see, the guys here, they are just laying the DPM. What he's doing there, he's putting the DPM tape around the pipe to make sure there is no gap, so whereby water can come under the slab. So all the joints need to be done. You need a minimum of 4-inch overlay to make sure that is tape. We sell the tape as well, but some people say, oh, I don't know the tape, but as I said earlier, it defeats the effectiveness of the tape. You can see the guide over there. They are all currently or applying the tape. All this material we source directly from the UK.
Yeah, so as Bryn said, we have the materials in stock in our office. You can contact us. We sell DPM, we sell tape, we sell DPC, we sell the roofing sheets, and we sell the Sika products. They're just to name a few of the products that we sell, as well as in terms of our construction side, we offer a full design and build service, as well as refurbishment. So if you are interested in any of those services, do get in contact with us. But more than anything, we're grateful for the opportunity to serve the clients and also share our journey with you on the channel. It's been an exciting few years from starting the channel, building our own project, to where we are now. If you are interested in looking at any of the different projects, we do have a variety on our channel under the playlists. So you can head over to the channel and see the variety. We have a few different projects that are built on mountains, Royal View, and then we have quite hilly projects, Project Yao. We have standard projects that are more traditional, such as Casa Josie and Ashibi, and then the new projects that are more recent to the channel. So do head over and have a look. If you aren't already supporting the channel, do support us by subscribing, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching the first episode of Project Berstep. We'll bring you the next shortly. Thank you. See
Thank you,
soon.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.